Hey guys, Alex here from Love Tennis, and wow, what a match I've just watched. Roger Federer just beat Tennys Sandgren in 5 sets, having saved 7 match points. Incredible match, but actually I thought Federer was very lucky to win that, and actually I don't think he was the better player in the match. He just ended up being the better player at the end. But I'll go into the stats a little bit for you and about what kind of was happening in the match, so you can kind of judge for yourself and let me know what you guys think. Should Federer have gone through to the semi-finals, or do you think Tennys Sandgren was the better player? So just as a terms of a matchup, Sandgren, 100 in the world, hasn't won many matches on the ATP Tour level, hasn't won many matches in Grand Slams really. I mean, he's won 32 matches in total on the ATP Tour. He's ranked 100 in the world. His highest ranking was 41 last year in 2019, the beginning of last year. Yeah, you know, obviously Roger Federer being Roger Federer, chasing that 21st Grand Slam, trying to pull away a little bit from Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic, so really feeling the pressure and actually really lucky to get away with it today. Now, the first set started in favor of Federer. He won 6-3. Typical Federer, steamrolling ahead. I kind of thought that Sandgren didn't kind of look comfortable. Maybe the nerves were getting to him. He didn't look like he found his rhythm yet. He was making a lot of unforced errors. And in particular, his first serve wasn't working. That he wasn't getting many first serves in. In fact, I think he only got about 46% of his first serves in. Now, if you're not getting your first serve in play, Federer's gonna dominate the points, and that's why he got broken. That's why he lost the first set 6-3. Now in the second set, wow, things really changed. Sandgren all of a sudden got his service percentage up. Now his first serve percentage went from 46% to 72%. All of a sudden he was getting a lot more aces, and all of a sudden Federer was only winning 54% of his first serves. So Sandgren was getting into those rally points quite well on Federer's serve, because he was just making all the returns, and actually he started dominating Federer from the baseline, because he really started hitting through Federer a little bit. He's got he's got this amazing two-handed backhand where he does this jumping shot kind of. It almost reminds me a little bit of Federer, the way he hits it, the way he kind of finishes with an open racket face. Very athletic player, and he was winning most of those backhand to backhand exchanges and going down the line at the right moments. He just looked like he was generally a better player. I think he broke Federer twice in the second set to take it 6-2. Now set 3 continued in the same key again. Sandgren broke Federer twice. He continued with with the great serving, and actually his serving even went up because he actually started winning 88% of his first serves that he got in, and his service percentage was still above 70%, which is quite high for a pro. Usually pros aim over 60% on the first serve is acceptable. I think and you want to win around the kind of 70–80% of those serves you want to be winning. So 80% is kind of the benchmark. If you're winning below 80% on your first serve, you're probably not doing enough with it, or you're not getting ahead in the rally. So yeah, third set, Sandgren still being the dominant force. He started acing a lot more, so he aced Federer 6 times in the third set. And actually I saw Federer getting a little bit frustrated. He even swore at one point. He ended up having a bit of a discussion with the umpire. So he really didn't look like he was he was settled. He looked like he was getting a little bit unsettled, looked like Sandgren has got to him. And I think he started looking like he was worried that actually he's getting a little bit dominated, because here Sandgren was by far the better player. He was out rallying, out hitting him. He's got this big forehand which he was causing a lot of damage with, hitting a lot of winners from that side, from that forehand side. And Federer didn't really have the answers.
Her serve's gone off on him.
And what was interesting to see is in the first set, Federer was coming in a lot more. So Federer came in, I think, 17 times in the first set. Then in the second set, where he started getting dominated, all of a sudden he only came in 11 times. And in the third set, it was only 9 times. So as the match is progressing, Federer is getting less and less aggressive. He's coming in less and less. And that's partly to do with Sandgren's great play, because he's really dominating from the baseline, and he hits the ball very hard. So even for Federer, he was struggling with that pace, and he was really unwinding on his shots, playing free. I think the first set he didn't have that. He didn't let go. Whereas in the second and third, all of a sudden you just saw Sandgren just let go and go for it. And I think he was probably playing the best tennis I've ever seen him play. Now, what was also interesting in that third set is Federer. Now, I don't know whether that was a tactical decision or what, but he needed to change something around. And being 3-love down, he took a big injury timeout. So the physio came on and he said he was struggling with his groin. And because it's the groin, obviously they can't treat you on the court because of the fans, the crowd. So you have to be taken off the court. So he came off the court, and I think that injury timeout turned into like 8-9 minutes. So he really took that time away from Sandgren. Sandgren was on fire, you know, Sandgren was killing it. And all of a sudden, Federer takes this long injury timeout, he breaks that rhythm, he breaks that momentum, and I think that was kind of a big key point in the match where I don't know whether Federer, that was like a decision that Federer made and thought, you know what, if I don't do this now, this guy's just going to keep going, so I need to change something, I need to make him think. And during that 8-9 minutes, for a player, when you're sitting there, you're getting cold because you're not playing. You can get a little bit stiffer if you're not keeping yourself mobile. Your rhythm goes a little bit, your momentum goes, because all of a sudden the player comes back. It's like you're starting fresh. It's like you're starting a new match. It's not boom, 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 let's continue playing the way that I was playing. All of a sudden you're getting into those rallies and it don't quite feel the same. And that can happen a lot when players take such injury timeouts. And I'm very surprised that it was actually such a long time, because that's a hell of a long 9-minute injury timeout. That's a long time to go off court and make Sandgren wait for him. Now, of course, if he is struggling with his groin and he did need treatment, obviously they need to go and take him to the office. He needs to receive treatment. He does need to come back. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think Federer was right to take the timeout? Do you think that timeout was too long? And do you think that somehow affected the outcome of the match? Now, going back to the match, the fourth set, things changed. All of a sudden, Federer was back in play. He was getting back into those exchanges, and actually he started winning some of the longer rallies as well in the match. It was a really key point, because before that, Sandgren was really getting on top of him and he was winning all the long rallies. He was calling all the shots. Federer was on defense constantly. He wasn't coming forward. In the fourth set, things evened out, and I don't know whether that injury timeout helped, but things evened out, and it went neck and neck all the way until 4-all, 5-4 to Sandgren, and then Sandgren had 3 match points. Now, on those match points, and this is something interesting for someone like for Federer, obviously, why he is Federer, why he is the greatest of all time at the moment, is because he makes you play those big points. You never see him just give a cheap point away on a match point. Never. Like, you have to beat him. You have to do something, and he's going to make you play it. And Sandgren, they had some long rally exchanges, and I felt like Sandgren just overplayed a little bit. He overpressed. He wanted to win too bad. He missed an easy backhand down the line. He went for too much where I didn't think the shot was on. He was kind of being pulled out, and he just went all, you know, all out, all or nothing. Missed it in the net. He missed an easy forehand that he shouldn't have missed. So he was starting, you know, this was the time that he could have maybe won the match right there and then, but he didn't, because Federer just made him play that extra ball. And it's all fair play to Federer, making those balls and not overplaying himself, and sometimes literally just getting the ball down the middle and seeing what Sandgren can do. And Sandgren ended up missing one easy forehand because he didn't get around, and it was just a normal mid-court ball that he missed. So those big points, the players, I guess that's where the experience comes in. The experienced player stays relaxed, and they keep playing the way they were playing, where they're slightly inexperienced, perhaps wants it too much, and the occasion maybe got to Sandgren, and that's why he didn't end up breaking Federer there. Then the match went into the tie-break, and in tie-break Sandgren had another 4 match points. He was 6-3 up, and Federer got back, and at one of those points, this was a big point for Sandgren. I think it was 6-4 or 6-5 to Sandgren. Sandgren got into the net. He got himself in the net, and he had a chance to hit the volley down the line. I know it would have gone to Federer's forehand, but that was the volley. He would have been covering the angles, but he chose to go cross-court. He didn't hit a good volley. Federer ended up just nudging the ball down the line, and Sandgren just, you know, he was scrambling, and he could see that desperation of, he wanted to win so bad, but he wasn't making the right shot selections for the occasion. He wasn't making the right shot selection because of the nerves, I think. It kind of got to him, the occasion. Federer, again, stayed in those rallies, made him play the extra ball. Even when he came into the net, he didn't go for a crazy passing shot. He just made the ball back to him, asked the question, and Sandgren ended up playing the wrong shot. Federer ended up winning the set, 7-6. I think it was 10-8 on the tie break, and it went into the 5th set. Now imagine for someone like Sandgren thinking, I've just had 7 match points to close out the match. I should be in the locker room right now. I should be relaxing, and I'm still out here on the court trying to win this match. Like, I feel really sorry for him, because the 5th set kind of went back to how it was in the 1st set. Sandgren, again, he looked nervous, he looked like he was frustrated, and rightly so. You know, he just had the chance to close out the match. Federer, being Federer, he started to get a bit of confidence. He was like, right, that was a lucky escape, but now it's time to get back to business. And it's interesting that players of like Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, when they do get into those tight situations in a set, like the 4th set happened, and you know, you had the 7 match points, usually those guys, I can see Federer, Rafa or Djokovic getting back into that zone of, okay, this is a fresh start, I'm going to keep playing. Whereas I think it really affected Sandgren, and again, I think that's where his experience on tour hasn't come into play yet, where I think he got to him. I don't think he played the same aggressive tennis. I think he was making more errors all of a sudden, and Federer got on top of him, and Federer closed out the match, and all fair play to him. I think, you know, great on you, but I think Sandgren for, I'd say 4 sets, well, three out of the 5 sets, Sandgren was the better player, and stats-wise, Sandgren actually won more points than Federer. He won 161 points, and Federer 160. So there you have it. You can even lose. You can not win as many points. You can lose in the points count, but still win the match, because the points that Federer was winning were the key points, the important points, the match points that he was saving. And Sandgren winning those points where he was, you know, serving, holding out serves to love, for example. He did serve very well. He served, I think, 27 or 37 aces. He served a lot of aces in the match, and Federer only served 5. So he was really dominant in the ace count. He was dominant from the baseline for most of the match, but he ended up losing the match simply because he didn't have that composure, A, at the net and on the other, on the ground strokes. Overpressed, overplayed a little bit, and Federer ended up, I guess, luckily winning the match. And he did say in his press conference after the match that he considered it to be, you know, a lucky escape. That he didn't think he was going to win. He was thinking he was probably going to be skiing right now, but he's back on court again, and he's probably going to play either Djokovic or Raonic. So let me know what you guys thought of the match. Let me know in the comments below. Who would you prefer Federer to play? Would you prefer him to play Raonic or Djokovic? And who do you think he has the best chance of beating? Obviously, both have beaten Federer. Actually, Djokovic beat him at Wimbledon. Raonic has beaten him at Wimbledon on grass. Hard courts, different game. Who do you think he'll play, and who would be a better opponent for Federer if he was to advance to the finals? If you haven't done so already, do subscribe to the channel. Also check out our new website, lovetennis.com. There we post regular news, regular updates, and you can also go onto our live scores so you can follow the matches, look at all the stats on our website, lovetennis.com.